This segment is sponsored by the Thumbs Up Guys. Have you tripped and fallen into medical bills and confusing insurance claims? Well, the Thumbs Up Guys are here to stand up for you. We've got Brandon Dawson and Jeffrey Ward here with more. Good to see you.
Great to be
here.
You
love the work.
Did you like that intro?
Yeah, that was great.
That's all Sandra, our
Yeah.
producer. No, all Sandra. Hey, so if something happens to someone, so what are the first steps you should take after a slip and fall at a business?
You want to alert someone working at that business that you fell. It needs to be documented. They need to do an incident report. They're trained to do that. If they don't do it after you've told them about it, you know, that negatively affects them. But after you do that, if you can take pictures, if there's any witnesses, you know, get those people's information, take as many pictures as you can. But then you need to get seen by a doctor. If you're really hurt, you need to either go to the ER, you need to go to an urgent care, you need to get checked out so it's immediately documented. Because the biggest thing we see is if you don't report it, they're going to claim it never happened here, that this is something else, that, or you got hurt some other way. If you don't get witness information, no one can vouch for what you said you slipped in or what you tripped over. And if you don't go to the doctor right away, you wait 2 or 3 days, they're going to say, well, what happened in that space between that could have, you know, actually caused these injuries.
Right. So what I hear you saying is do it all as fast as possible. Report it,
Speed
photos,
is the name of the game.
Drive to the doctor.
Absolutely.
Right then.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk, that was a business. Now let's talk about homeowners. How can a homeowner be held responsible for injuries caused by unsafe conditions at our homes?
Yeah, slightly different standard with homeowners. It's whether they knew or should have known about the defect that was there. I think a good example is, you know, you have a rotten board on your deck and you go, man, I've been meaning to replace that board. And then I have Jeff over and we're out hanging out on the deck and he steps right on that board, falls through it, injures himself. And I never told him, hey, watch out for that, right? I'm on the hook for that. So, you know, that's a good example of, you know, what happens with a homeowner.
He's coming after you,
He's coming after me, yeah.
I would sign that case all day.
Pretty good at his
and
job.
understandably so, right? I mean, I knew about the danger. I invited him out there, and you know, he came over, and then he got injured by it, right? So again, the law is trying to encourage people to replace that board, so that that injury does not happen. But if unfortunately if it does, then you know, that's when we bring that homeowner's claim.
Is it different if it's something where you didn't know and they tripped on like a child's toy at your backyard?
Yeah, absolutely. It is different. It's the new or should have known standard. So passage of time of that being in a dangerous condition plays a factor. But the duty to warn is also important too. So if you have a leaking toilet and it causes water to pool in your bathroom, and you know that, but you don't tell your guest, oh, watch out when you go in there, it could be slippery. That's a problem too, because how am I supposed to know, especially if the water is similar in color to whatever the tile is in your bathroom. And I walk in there and slip and bust my knee, you know, that is a big issue too. So yeah, passage of time, if you actually didn't know, could you have uncovered this with just due diligence and, you know, inspecting your property? Or if you did know and you failed to warn, that's the other big one too.
Yeah, imagine like the kids leave the sink on, it overflows, you know, somebody slips and falls.
Actually been there, done that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
a lot of parents have.
you know, and then somebody slips and falls there. Well, if we didn't know about it, then you know, that's the other scenario.
Thank you for explaining that. So, you know, you mentioned again documenting your injuries, like, and your accident. Document everything at the scene. How does that impact your potential claim, you know, later on?
It's the old adage that a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? And so you want to make sure that you're not only taking pictures of the accident scene so that we can say this is exactly what caused it, but also your injuries along the way. You know, Jeff always uses the example that, you know, bruising, for example, is something that goes away. But, you know, at the time, I mean, it's horrific, right? It's all over your body. And later on, you kind of forget and you can't really show that bruise anymore. So those are things that can help, you know, tell a jury, tell an adjuster, defense counsel, hey, this was really bad. I wasn't making this up. Visibly, I can see it. And it really makes people connect with it, because when you see that picture of whatever it is, whether it's a scar, you know, at the time, people go, oh, wow, like, that did hurt. Versus the end of it, and, you know, I've seen people who've had some amazing plastic surgery, and they go, I didn't even really notice that you had an injury there. And in reality, they, you know, had a horrific injury.
Yeah, that's the other one I would say. Plastic surgeons are so fantastic now that scars, you know, all but disappear, but you might have a 3-inch very deep gash in your leg. So taking pictures of those as it's healing prior to that surgery is important, because if you're on the stand and you're like, oh, I have a bad cut in my leg, I'm like, well, let's see it. I mean, there's nothing there. Like, oh, okay, it couldn't have been that bad. But in reality, it was pretty severe.
Right. All right, guys, thank you. As always, what's the best way to get a hold of you if anyone has any questions?
You know what to do. You Google the
right
thumbs
there.
up. Yes,
Google the
right
thumbs
there.
up, guys. Always good to have you here. Again, all the information on the screen. You can call, follow them on Instagram. Go to inpain.com as well. We're going to take a break. We've got more Low Country Live right after this.